Hey, beautiful brainiacs! Are you ready to get education?
Today we are here to talk about something that strikes fear into the hearts of monsters and mortals alike.
Something so terrifying, Hercules would quake in its presence.
Something so confusing makes the Sphinx's riddle look easy.
The bane of every parent's and student's existence.
College applications!
So, if college applications scare you, welcome to the majority, my friends.
And if they don't, kudos to you, but can't relate.
Even as college is exciting and amazing and something to look forward to, the process to get there is, at the very least, very tedious.
So we're going to go over the things to do,
And not to do.
and the types of people to be,
And not to be.
and hopefully by the end of this video, and videos to come, you will not have to worry as much.
Or if you do, because you're like me and you gotta, you'll at least have a game plan.
If you already have an idea for what colleges you want to apply to, perfect.
The biggest and most treacherous step of this entire process is unfortunately the first one, and that's deciding what you want out of a school.
I agree. And so this really begins with studying the different kinds of factors that schools have and which ones are very important to you.
Things like distance from home, majors and minors, other academic programs that you would be interested in, co-ed or single-gender dorms, the political leaning of your school and its denomination, the faculty-to-student ratio, retention rate, especially for freshmen, study abroad programs, diversity, number of students in general, public or private school, if you like the dining hall food, that's a big one, if the elevators in your dorm work. Wish I had known that before I got selected for my particular dorm.
At BU.
Location in general, whether it's a city or a country kind of place that you would like to go. The kinds of things that you have accessibility to, whether you're a sports fan and you want to be near an arena, or you're in the food capital of the world or whatever. That's all kind of like stuff that pertains to you specifically, and no one person is going to be able to tell you exactly what you need. You're going to have to find that out for yourself.
Exactly. And there are tons more too. So make sure you do some research and decide like your top 3 or 5 important factors. For me, they were major, financial aid, distance from home, and diversity. And the 2 most important ones were definitely major and financial aid, especially because my primary major, which is genetics, is still somewhat of an uncommon major. It's only been like a really big scientific field in the past like 30 years, and so not a lot of places offer undergraduate degrees in it. And so that was like a really big deal for me trying to find a school that has actually offered it. However, because not many schools do offer it, it did like narrow the pool down and make choosing a school a lot easier. And so from there, I chose schools that had good financial aid programs, or that could at least provide me 100% of my financial aid that I needed or exhibited, which BU did because it is a private school. And just an aside about private schools versus public schools. Public schools are generally cheaper because they are public and they're state funded. However, private schools, because they are more expensive and because mostly rich people go to those schools, they can offer their poorer students more financial aid. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at schools.
My reasons for wanting to go to a school were actually pretty similar to Hailey's. We have pretty similar reasons for going to college. Major in academics was another big thing for me. And it was definitely number one, because there's no point going to a college that doesn't offer what you want to do, or only kind of is what you want to do. Because if I'm going to be honest, you're paying a buttload of money. You're paying so much money. I am so poor right now. So, like, if you're going to be investing that much money in a school, it has to be investing back in you, and it has to be doing what you want in a school. And obviously, like, because people have different preferences for a school, a person is going to be paying for different things when they're going to a school. If they want a party school, and if they want a sports school with high team spirit and a lot of like really unified things, and that's what they're paying for, great. They're getting their money's worth.
Yeah, it all kind of depends what you want out of your college experience.
Exactly. Like, every person is different, and every person is very like slightly different, even from the people that they're similar to. For instance, academics was a big thing for me, but not for the same reason as it was for Hailey. BU isn't the best in anthropology. It's not even really in the top 100 schools, but it's a really strong school in general. It's got 27 languages here. 27. Yes, 27.
And a lot of them probably never even heard of.
Oh yeah, like
Olaf.
So as a linguistics nerd, even knowing that I'm not going to be able to take 27 languages in the course of my study, even if I would take like 5 years or whatever, I still wanted it because like there's options and there's abilities and you never know what you're going to fall into because somebody says, hey, you should take this, or hey, this would be a good idea for your major. You have to think about, am I in it for the college experience and I'm not so much worried about academics because I know I'm going to get into a good field, or am I really worried about being able to like afford bills? Right. So, that's another thing. This is not about like saying this particular college experience is the best one. It's just about knowing what kind of student you are and what you're looking for out of going to college.
And we're just using ourselves as examples because clearly we know ourselves best. And so like if we can pass on some of our like thought process on to you. Right. So step 2, that is finding those actual schools that do match those requirements that you have written down and you know that you want. And fortunately, there are tools out there that can help you with this. You don't have to like individually Google search every single bajillion colleges that are in the world. They can do it for you.
Yeah, there are several websites and other tools you can use. I can't remember the one off the top of my head that I just thought of because like you popped in my brain. I think it was either FastWeb or Niche. I use a lot of these, by the way. I've searched for every scholarship and college under the sun. I was very thorough. But it might have been Unigo. I'm pretty sure that was the one where you could say, like, I want a college with this much of a population, and I want a college that is situated in this kind of a thing, or I want a college within this region or these regions.
Right.
Unigo is a really nice site. I definitely recommend it for both scholarship and college searches.
I just use the College Board College Search because they have a lot of those features as well. The only thing is they have somewhat limited data, most as all research or search engines do. But they do, like, it's a good place to start if you don't know, because usually if you're a high school student in the United States, you probably already have a College Board account if you've taken the PSAT, SAT, or any AP classes.
Which brings me into my next thing. I started with a plain old Google search, which was top anthropology schools in the U.S., and that brought me to collegefactual.com, where it just showed me a list of all the rankings. BU, as I mentioned before, wasn't even in the top 100, but it's where I got the desire to apply to Penn and to Brown. IVs, of course, which I did not get into, but we'll get to that later. And there's a lot you could do. Back to that PSAT and SAT thing, sign up, please, for the thing where it says, hey, do you want to receive mail from colleges that are interested in you? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not gonna be 1 or 2 messages like, hey, how you doing it? Just slide into your DMs really casually and then you never hear from me again. No, colleges are that lover who cannot get the hint that you no longer want to date them.
They just constantly just yeeting money into your, they're like, please, hey, please, 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 hey, please, 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 please.
How you doing? Are you interested now?
It's been 2 minutes to the last email. Have you felt any emotion for us yet? Do you love us yet? It's been 2 weeks. Hey, want to apply early? Hey,
claim your $18,000 scholarship by applying.
Yeah.
So yeah, some colleges are better than others. If they're classy, like BU, they won't spam you with emails. They will send you paper things that either advertise their programs or advertise their early decision, early admission options, things like that. Like, also, side note, if you hear the college on a Spotify ad or on a TV ad, that college is investing their money into advertisements more than they are research,
and they're thirsty,
or academics or athletics, and don't go there. Anyway, so that definitely lets you get a hint for what colleges not to go to and what colleges to go to, and it just lets you get bombarded with options, like a lady in Victorian times with suitors and flower language. So she just reads all the flowers and says, I don't think the marigolds are like giving me the right vibe right now. Anyway,
I'm not going to call out any specific colleges. University. But they would, like, some colleges like legitimately will send you mail, like snail mail every single day or like every other day, and they'll email you every day, and it's like,
university.
And so it's like, if you're, like, you can unsubscribe from their specific college. And I recommend doing it early if you know you don't want to go to that school. I, like, didn't do that. I just started letting the emails pile up in my email box, and I still have the folder in my phone, and it has over 2,000 emails in it from junior year until my senior year, because colleges, and it was, like, a lot of colleges, it was, like, 100 and some odd, but it was, like,
100 and some odd, it's not a lot.
Okay, but 2,000 divided by 100. That's 20
like,
emails.
That's still like
on average per
20. That's like 20 emails at university. It's not too bad.
But not all colleges emailed me more than once. I think I got like 2 emails from Harvard, I think, but like I got literally like
that's
hundreds.
Because Harvard gets a hint.
True.
Harvard gets a hint.
I was like at hundreds from other ones, so.
But like on that subject, if you don't have a designated spam email yet, get a designated spam email. And I know this sounds like a good reason not to sign up for those things, but you're also not going to know what you like, what colleges interest you until you get bombarded by those emails.
You're not even gonna know what colleges are out there unless you do that. Like, I didn't even hear about BU through my college search, ironically, because their major is not technically genetics. It's biology with specialization in it. And so it did not come up in my searches, but I did get mail from them physically, and I was just like, and I like fell in love, and so I did end up doing more research on the school itself. It's like, if you don't do that, you may or may not find that like dream school. One more piece of advice before we like let you go, and that is just like straight up Google the school you want to go to. Like, you've probably done some research, you've gone on their website, you've done their virtual tour, you've looked at their majors, you've seen their residence life. It looks great.
But this is also what they want you to see.
Exactly. And it's kind of fake. It's kind of fake. I'm not going to lie. It's like wearing a mask.
It's like having an Instagram account versus having a Snapchat account.
Yeah, or like a Finsta and Insta. All those kind of things. Yeah. So it's like, just straight up Google the school and like go to like the news tab and like look to see like what goes on at your school. Because like some schools are just like, wow, look, we just got a new grant. We have a new professor. We saved children's lives on the weekends. We saved a puppy. Other schools are like, 3 rapes and a murder on campus. It's like, it's like, if you don't want to go to a school like that, make sure you Google it first.
Another side note, because I mentioned Snapchat, I actually did stalk all of my colleges on Snapchat. This brings me to my next point. University of Florida and Florida State are currently named consecutively number 18 and number 19 respectively on Princeton Review's list of top party schools. All respect to people who want to do that with their life. That's not me. I am very academically oriented, and my idea of a wild night is like cheering for my friend as he like rocks the flute playing
oh god, that's great.
Peer Gynt's work. That's the kind of stuff I find like a wild Friday night.
Or eating ice cream in her bed watching Gilmore Girls at 10:30.
Don't at me like this. anyway, that's a move. So I won't deny that UF and FSU do have good academic programs too. It's not like they're just all drinking and partying. But when I looked on their Snapchat, I saw a lot of like homecoming and like pre-gaming stuff that was pretty hardcore and not the sort of stuff I was looking for from my peers. It kind of honestly looked to me like just a continuation of what I saw in high school, especially considering I went to a Florida high school. So, some people don't want that experience to end. Some people make friends in high school that they want to continue with into college, and I give you full respect if that's what you do. It's not my style. So looking informally at news, at social media, at things like that, including like word of mouth, but you should always take somebody's opinion with a grain of salt, including us. But looking at that stuff from an informal point of view lets you see, like, the college has already shown you the best of what they can offer. Now you want to see what the mundane life is like. You want to see, like, what you're going to be experiencing when you, like, walk on the street. But about the schools I just mentioned, they were my safety schools. Bright Futures is a program in Florida where if you get certain grades and you do certain things, you get the IB diploma like I did in a Florida school, they will pay basically for most, if not all, of your tuition. And that would be great if I wanted to go to a Florida school. I really didn't. I applied anyway because free college is nothing to sneeze at. I'm not even gonna deny there are good schools in Florida, and free college is nothing to sneeze at. So I applied to UCF, to FSU, and to UF. But I'm gonna be totally honest, besides UCF, which did seem really cool to me, I like Orlando. There's some really pretty parks, there's some science centers, a butterfly garden, really cool
Disney
stuff. Yeah, Disney World. Not what I was focused on. Like, I have any money to go to Disney World. But, they were still my safety schools, and here's a point. Pick safety schools you actually want to go to. Like, Bennington was a school that I could have lived with. It was very, very small, only 800 students in the entire, thing, and it would have been my style, but I still would have really loved it because it's a beautiful place and they have great academics. UF and FSU, I did not really want to go to, and honestly, if I could do it all over again, I would have focused all the time that I had spent applying to them into other colleges that I would have actually really liked to go to if I didn't go to Boston University. So please, don't waste your time on colleges that don't make you happy. Apply for ones that do, even if they're a little bit out of your price range, because you don't know where financial aid is going to take you. And being frugal is good too. Like, apply for ones that don't cost an arm and a leg, but make sure that you still want to go to them.
Right. But also, don't be like me and literally only apply to one school. I really do not recommend that. Just because I did that doesn't mean that literally anybody else in the world should. To be fair, I did apply ED, and so I applied in October, and I got in early December, which was really nice. So just in case I didn't get in, I still had time to apply to other schools. However, I did not have any safety schools to apply to. I did not even research I researched other schools, but I didn't have any safety schools. I didn't have any plan Bs. I was kind of just winging it, and I didn't even think I was not confident I was gonna get into Boston, let me tell you. But I was just so overwhelmed with the prospect of trying to apply to so many schools, and I just hadn't thought of it. And so I just didn't bother. But please do not do that, because if Boston hadn't have accepted me, I would have had to freaked out
and basically start all over
again, essentially. Fortunately, my Common App would have already been done, but I would not have had any applications prepared for anywhere else. And I had a plan Z, which was just going to a local two-year college in my hometown, which was all right, but it was just I didn't want to go there, right? Which is why I applied to somewhere like Boston, because I live in a town that is small and it's rural and it's in a state I don't really want to live in anymore, and it's in a part of the country that I've seen a lot already, so I wanted to go somewhere else. But yeah, apply to more than one school, have safety schools, and have a plan, have multiple plans.
Also, don't rely on ED leaving you enough time to look for more schools, because some of the colleges that I applied to had their regular decision, as in their final deadline, November 1st. That's
right.
Early, but they do that because they want to be able to tell you by winter or by January, end of winter, that, hey, you got in, now you can plan all spring long. So
right.
you have to pay attention to these things, and you have to have multiple plans. Start early on your applications, which we'll get to in a subsequent video.
And I do recommend, definitely, if you can, definitely do apply ED or EA, so early decision or early action, because the earlier you get in there, the less worrying you have to do.
And now we're going into what you shouldn't do in order to not be me. If you really like a school, you really, 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 really like it, it makes your heart flutter, it makes you get all excited about talking about the future, I literally always was. I would not shut up about it. Go ahead and apply ED. EA is early action. It is non-binding. ED is binding, but at the same time, they can't hold a gun to your head and say, go to this school. So,
it is a contract, though, and if you are, 18, it is legally binding. So my mom had to sign my contract saying, if I was accepted to Boston, I had to go there, and I had to pay a deposit. So I was either out $600, or it was I went to that school.
But don't, obviously $600 is nothing to sneeze at, but if you really don't want to go to a school that you, ended up applying ED for, there are the options to back out. It's a contract, and you're breaking that contract, and that's nothing to say, oh, that's nothing. It is something. So choose your ED wisely. EA, you don't have to worry about. Apply to as many EAs as you want, but EA isn't always an option.
Make sure that you're following the rules, because like sometimes private schools, I know that Harvard has this rule. If you apply ED or EA to Harvard, you cannot apply ED or EA to any other private school, or else they will like not accept you or whatever. They will null the contract essentially, which is like, you don't want that to happen. So make sure you follow the rules if you do apply ED.
But that aside, I really wish, despite like the financial risk, that I had applied ED to Brown, Penn, and Boston, because even though I probably would have gone to Boston, there is still like the thing of, what if I had went to Penn? If I had applied early decision, I don't know what would have happened with Brown, but I have a feeling I would have probably gotten accepted to Penn, because especially with the Ivies, but with a lot of schools now, they choose up to half or 3/4 of their class, because they do want to cap it at some point. Like ours is about 3,000. They were looking for 3,300 specifically. They do want to cap it. They don't want a huge freshman class, because there aren't enough resources for all of us. So early decision probably would have gotten me into one or both of them. Now,
yeah, I'm always going to plug ED, because they do accept, I think they accept like 1,400 ED applicants, which is pretty much half of what almost half of what they were of the total acceptance they did, which is like a lot. And it's like, especially if you have like somewhat like mediocre or like average skills or like application, because I see that you're more
loyal and dedicated and like, oh my god, this is the place for me. Even if you're not applying ED or EA, you want them to think that with every fiber of your being, with every application that you write, every supplement of your application, that BU or Brown or Columbia or Stanford or the University of Washington, wherever you decide to go, is the only college you're applying to. You don't like those boys or girls, like, I'm not going to like say a specific gender because any gender can do this, but these people who will like, yeah, you're the only person I'm talking to, and then they've got like 6 other like people of various genders that they're talking to. Yeah, well, do that with colleges. Seriously invest yourself in your application so that they feel special and loved. This is the part where like, Rivka, don't be like this. I applied regular decision to Boston. I will fully admit it because it's the truth. I applied regular decision. I was up against 65,000 other people, and I'm really not doing that to brag, because if I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how. I have no idea how I did. I don't know.
For comparison, I was 1 against 4,000.
If you're really as invested in a college as I was in Boston, that like tears run freely down your face just thinking about it, and you rep it as much as we did in a single video.
True.
Go ahead and apply ED, because I don't think you'll regret it. I think it'll definitely boost your chances if you're just like, I will die. I will become deceased. I will not find a reason to live if I get rejected. And side note, which we will get to in subsequent videos, rejection is not the end of the world, but you should still try really hard to get accepted.
Yes, I agree.
So, that's a lot of information, but here we go.
Alrighty then, this video is nearing the length of my tuition bill, so I think it's about time to wrap it up, folks.
Our next videos will be about writing the essay itself and building your college resume, and depending on what you guys request, we might also talk about what to do in the waiting period, how many colleges to apply to, pros and cons of different colleges, and how to deal with rejection. It's just up to what you guys want to see. So until next time, stay education!
Let's see, what did I have to say again? If you have an idea for what you... Okay. I can't roll my tongue.
Like,
bam. All right.
I also forgot about the recording sticker, so I'm going to put that on now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dear. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
I want to say that again, just in case.
Anyway. However, if you're... Okay. We're going to restart that. However, if you've had your college search... Why can I not use words in my mouth?
Now you know how I feel. I'm a generally tiny person, so please don't leave your clothing all over my side of the room. The faculty to student race...
Okay.
I'm going to read over that, and then I'm actually going to speak, because I do think before I speak, believe it or not.
Oh, can't relate.
No, you can't. Something so terrifying, Hercules would create Quake.
Precisely. Start over.
First one, and that's exciting.
Mm.
Exciting. Quake. Shivering. Quake.
Hi.
Why? No. I'm not touching your computer. I'm gonna ruin something. Okay. I swallowed the word gallium. So
okay, got it. All right.
Unigo. I-N. No, that's not how you spell Unigo. Anyway, U-N-I-G-O. Unigo. Right.
Okay. Right. And I don't know what I was gonna say here. What were we going to say?
Because you don't know like where phrase English.